60 goals for last season in the English Premier League. It means by Manchester United, they are the ones, of course, who scored the least goals in the top 9 of the Premier League for last season. So with Real Betis, and is about to join West Ham United on a free transfer. Just before the Chaffee left the reins at Barcelona in terms of his aerial prowess, headed goals, he brings in that presence. He also Hello guys, you are welcome. It's another edition. Good football gist right here. And if this is your first time of listening and watching, where have you been? This is the segment and the platform where we have the best of good conversation in the world of football, featuring your favorite footballing teams, and we're right here to serve and serve you hot we will. I am JD, and I welcome you especially. On today's episode, we're going to be having a look at a club in the English Premier League who, of course, have been flying, but for last season, in the 2023-2024 season, they did less of the flying. I'm talking about the London outfit side, West Ham United. Yes, West Ham United last season fell well below expectation. They, of course, expected to qualify again and do well in European football. They went further, but could not win. They, this time around, of course, could not even qualify at the end of the season for European sport, be it the Europa Conference League, which, of course, they won under David Moyes, and also qualifying for the Europa League, or even getting as far as challenging for the Champions League spot, a position that they occupied at the start of last season. So what went wrong for David Moyes' West Ham United? It could be issues with conceding. It could be probably even a lack of goals. It could be just trying to find their rhythm all through the season, and especially in key moments. So West Ham United, the question I asked on the program today is, what are they cooking? They look like they're up to something. We have taken notice of that, and so we're chasing them. JD has got his lens on West Ham United. So from last season, you had a West Ham United side who could not win the Europa League, but of course going further in the competition. You had a West Ham United side who eventually finished in a lowly 9th place, and so needed to improve on that into this season. So they kick out David Moyes, of course, having a new manager in, Julian Lopetegui. He's the one to lead the line right now with West Ham United. So we ask ourselves, what are they cooking? Given the players that they have been linked with and those they eventually have signed. As we all know right now, West Ham United are on the cusp of wrapping things up with the Borussia Dortmund striker, Nicholas Fulkrug. Everything done and dusted. Medicals already have been booked. Don't also forget, they're about to add another midfielder in that folder, Guido Rodriguez, the man who used to play with Real Betis and is about to join West Ham United on a free transfer. Just before the Chaffee left the reins at Barcelona, Rodriguez, the Argentine midfielder, was supposed to be the man to join Barcelona on the Chaffee. He was to bring solidity. He was to bring connection. He was to bring control in that midfield. But eventually, Chaffee lost and left Barcelona, given the opportunity right now to West Ham to add him to that midfield. Now, what does that mean for a West Ham midfield? Well, this is what it means. You already have an Alvarez, the Mexican midfielder, in there who can also play in defense. And of course, you have players like Souček and Lucas Paqueta. But what Rodriguez brings is it becomes their Andre Pirlo-esque in that midfield. He knits things up. He keeps it tidy. And of course, at the age of 30, it means he comes with a whole lot of experience for that West Ham midfield. How about in attack? Nicholas Fulkrug. We all saw him at the European Championship and what he offered in terms of the outlay offensively, and of course, in terms of his aerial prowess. Headed goals, he brings in that presence. He also has a wonderful striking range. Have a look at the current West Ham attack, having the likes of Bowen on the flanks. And of course, you know, and you have to realize that a striker like Fulkrug will bring so much quality to West Ham United, because you have again aging players like Mikel Antonio, who of course are gradually being phased out. Fulkrug will bring in the experience on the international club level scene and will also come in with the goals there. Guaranteed, give or take, 10 Premier League goals in a season with Nicholas Fulkrug. And how about one more player? He scored the missing link for Manchester United, now making that move to West Ham. His name is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, that deal is a little bit dicey and still on the edge, but as things stand, the player is deep into conversations with West Ham United, same with West Ham United, and of course, Manchester United. If they add him, West Ham United add Aaron Wan-Bissaka to that team. It means, first of all, for a side who conceded well over 70 goals, 74 goals from last season, it means right now that they get solidity. A player who can play right back, a player who can play left back, and a player who can also play into that central defense for West Ham United. It helps to show things up defensively. And also in the attack, when you have a player like Nicholas Fulkrug also in there, as a man who can give you goals for West Ham United side, who scored barely 60 goals for last season in the English Premier League. It means by Manchester United, they are the ones, of course, who scored the least goals in the top 9 of the Premier League for last season. So he comes in with the goals. And that means there's added goals for West Ham United into this new season. It means also defensively, they get to show things up with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who can play at left back and at right back, and also in the central of defense. And most importantly, the man who ticks things, who make things roll, talking about Guido Rodriguez. He can become the next Rodri. As Rodri is as important to Man City, you can have Rodriguez be that important to West Ham United. So when we say, what are West Ham cooking? You're right to say, and you agree with us, that West Ham are cooking good. Asado finished in 9th position from last season out of the European spot. Clearly want to get back into that European spot and even as far as challenging for the top 4 in the UEFA Champions League. Do you think West Ham United can do that under their new manager, Julien Lopetegui? Well, if you feel they can or cannot, drop us a comment right now in the comment section. All right, until next time out, don't forget, I'm JD. I've got some good football gist for you. Stay with us here.